18, verso 32 al 39.
Psalms 18, verses 32 to 39.
Dice así.
And it reads,
Escúchelo bien, préstele atención
listen well, pay
y
attention,
haga lo suyo.
and make this
Y
yours.
usted joven que está aquí, el que está
And you
escuchando,
youth that are here and those that are listening,
usted más todavía. Usted
you
tiene
even
más
more,
tiempo.
because you have more time.
Usted tiene más años
You have more years
para aprovecharlos.
to be able to take advantage of.
Él es quien me arma de valor y endereza mi camino. Léemelo conmigo ese verso.
It is God who arms me with strength and keeps my way secure.
Presta atención.
Pay attention.
Él es quien
He
me
is
arma de valor
the one that gives me the valor,
y endereza mi camino.
and he straightens my way.
Da a mis pies la ligereza del venado y me mantiene firme en las alturas. Adiestra mis manos para la batalla y mis brazos para tensar arcos de bronce. Tú me cubres con el escudo de tu salvación y con tu diestra me sostienes. Tu bondad me ha hecho prosperar. Me has despejado el camino, así que mis tobillos no flaquean.
He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He causes me to stand on the heights. He trains my hands for the battle. My arms can bend a bow of bronze. You make your saving help my shield. Your right hand sustains me. Your help has made me great. You provide a broad path for my feet so that my ankles do not give away.
Perseguí a mis enemigos, le di alcance y no retrocedí hasta verlos aniquilados. Los aplasté, ya no pudieron levantarse, cayeron debajo de mis pies. Tú me armaste de valor para combate, bajo mi planta sometiste a los rebeldes.
I pursued my enemies and overtook them. I did not turn back till they were all destroyed. I crushed them so that they could not rise. They fell beneath my feet. You armed me with strength for the battle. You humbled my adversaries before me.
Gracias, Señor, por tu palabra.
Thank you, Lord, for your word.
Gracias, Señor, porque sé que nos vas a usar con poder
Thank you, Lord, because I know that you're going to use us with power
y autoridad
and authority
para bendecir tu pueblo y tus hijos.
to bless your people, your children.
Amén.
Amen,
Amén,
amen,
amén.
amen.
Yo quiero que tú entiendas algo antes de continuar.
I want you to understand something before we continue.
La palabra determinar, establecer algo en nuestra vida,
The word determine or establish something in our life,
dice tomar la decisión
it says that it's to make a decision
de hacer las cosas que se expresa.
of doing the things that you express.
Escúchalo bien.
Listen well.
Es la determinación.
It's the
O sea, es
determination.
la decisión.
So it's the
es la
decision.
actitud
It's the attitude
de tomar la decisión de hacer cosas que expresar.
of making the decision of taking the attitude of doing the things that you express.
Es hacer que alguien tome
It's making somebody
una
take
decisión.
or make a decision.
Es expresar.
It's expressing.
Escúcheme bien. Una persona con autoridad
Listen well. It's a person with authority
o una ley
or a law
de un reglamento.
of a rule.
Lo que se debe de hacer.
What should be done.
Cuando tú estás determinado,
When
cuando
you are
tú
determined,
estableces
When you
principios,
establish principles,
tú averiguas,
you find out.
escuche bien,
Listen well.
y precisas
And you precise
las
things,
cosas a partir de los datos correctos.
departing from the correct data that you have.
Por eso la sumisión te hace tomar decisiones incorrectas.
That's why assuming makes you make the incorrect
Por eso
decisions.
pensar que algo te puede salir sin el dato correcto
That's why thinking that something could come out right without having the correct details.
es incierto.
That's
Es como
uncertainty.
jugar la lotería.
That's like playing the
Todo
lottery.
el que la juega
Everybody that plays it
tiene la esperanza de que se va a pegar.
has the hope that they're going to hit the
Porque si
lottery.
usted juega, no, si me pego, pues no juegue. No
Because
bote
if
los
you
chavos.
play and you say, no, but it's the, well, don't play. Just throw away your money.
Pastor, podemos jugar lotería.
Oh, Pastor, we could play lottery.
Lea la Biblia.
Read the Bible.
Hay veces que la gente hace preguntas para justificar lo
There's
que quieren
times
hacer.
that people just ask questions to justify what they
Tú
want to do.
tienes que ser preciso.
You have to be
Tú
precise.
tienes que producir
You have to
en
produce
tu vida lo que tú expresas.
in your life what you express.
Yo siempre lo he dicho.
I've always said
En
it.
el 1989
In 1989,
tomé una
I
decisión
made a
la que
decision.
nunca en mi mente ha volvido a retroceder.
The one that in my mind has never
No he
regressed.
decidido volver a allí.
I have not
No
decided to
tengo
return
interés
there.
volver
I don't have
allí.
an interest
No
in returning
necesito
there.
volver
I don't
allí.
need to
Qué
return there.
malo que eso. No tiene
It's
que ver
bad.
nada
No,
con
it
eso.
has nothing to do with that.
Cuando tú determinas,
When you determine
cuando tú
something,
expresas con tu corazón,
when you
tu
express
mente,
with your heart, with
y
your mind,
alineas tu
and you
pensamiento
align your thoughts
de acuerdo a las circunstancias,
according to the
tu
circumstances,
determinación debe ser hecha
your
de lo que
determination
expresaste.
should be done according
Yo
to
no
what you
me quiero
expressed.
retirar en un sitio que no me prosperó.
I don't want to retire myself in a place that did not prosper me
Para nada.
at all.
Yo tengo que aprender a vivir
I have to learn how to
donde
live
Dios me ha prosperado.
where God has prospered me.
Retirarme donde Dios no me ha prosperado
For me to retire where God has not prospered
es que
me,
nunca tuve una determinación.
it's that I never had a determination.
Simplemente quise hacer,
I just simply wanted to do
buscar un beneficio,
or seek for a benefit,
pero no determinado.
but not determined.
Pregúntate tú,
Ask yourself,
¿he tomado decisiones
I've made decisions
o estoy determinado?
or am I determined?
Si Él es quien te alma de valor, quien
If
te
he is
llena
the
de
one that
fuerza.
fills you of valor, of strength,
Por eso el miedo
that's why the fear,
es una de las herramientas
it's one of the
que la
weapons
carne usa
that the flesh
para
uses
mantenerte débil en tu fe.
to keep you weak in your faith.
Voy a volvértelo a
I'm
repetir.
going to repeat it again.
El miedo
The fear
es una
is
herramienta
a tool
que el enemigo utiliza
that the enemy
para
uses
mantenerte débil.
so that he could keep you
No dije
weak.
que no tiene fe,
I didn't say you didn't
para
have faith.
mantenerte
To
débil
keep you weak
en la fe.
in the faith.
La debilidad
The weakness
es la falta de determinación.
is the lack of
La
determination.
debilidad
The weakness
es la falta
is the lack
de lo que no nos deja ver más allá
of what doesn't allow us to see
de
farther
lo que Él dice.
than what he says.
¿Sabes? Tú dice que da a mis pies la ligereza de un venado.
It says that he gives to my feet the fastness of a deer.
¿Cuántos han visto correr un venado?
How many of you have seen a deer run?
Corren rápido, de
They
verdad.
run quickly, very fast.
Se te atraviesan sin tu esperar.
They will cross your path without you expecting it.
Se destruye. Cuando el hombre avanza en su vida,
When a
escuche
man
bien,
is advancing in his life, and I want you to listen well.
¿cuántos creen que Cristo está cerca?
How many of you believe that Christ is
Pues
close?
entonces es tiempo de avanzar.
So it's time for you to advance.
¿Cuántos saben que la edad los está tocando?
How many of you know that the age is
O sea,
touching
que,
you?
que te está tocando la puerta.
It's knocking at your door.
¿Ah? ¿Cuántos saben que no tienen la fuerza del de 20?
How many of you know that you don't have the strength of a 20-year-old?
¿Cuántos saben que no tienen la fuerza del de 30?
How many of you know that you don't have the strength of a 30-year-old?
Significa
So
que
it
si
means
todavía tú no has determinado avanzar,
that if you still have not determined to advance,
hay un problema, no estás entendiendo.
there's a problem you're not understanding.
Alguien me dijo
Someone said
y me
to me,
envía esto y me dice,
Somebody sent this to
el
me. and
oso
said,
vino y preparó a David para el león.
The bear prepared David for the lion.
El león vino y preparó a David para Goliat.
The lion came and prepared David for Goliath.
Goliat vino y preparó a David para Saúl.
Goliath came and he prepared David for Saul.
Saúl vino y preparó a David para el trono.
Saul came and prepared David for the throne.
Preste atención a esta última
Pay
expresión.
close attention to this last
Dios
expression.
permite situaciones
God allows situations
difíciles
that are difficult
en nuestras vidas
in our lives
para llevarnos a lugares elevados.
so that he could take us to elevated places.
Vengo a expresarte algo.
I have come to express
Yo
something
no
to
soy
you.
el mejor, pero tengo que decirte.
I am not the best, but I have to
Si
say
algo
it.
a mí nunca me va a cambiar,
If something is never going to change
es
me,
mi determinación.
it's my determination.
En eso sí que yo nunca he doblegado.
In that I've never
Cuando
subdued.
yo digo voy a hacer
When I
algo,
say that I'm going to do something,
yo lo hago.
I will do it.
A menos que Dios no me hable y me diga, no,
Unless God speaks and says, nope,
eso es pensamientos tuyos. Yo no
that's
quiero que
just
hagas
your
eso.
thought. I don't want you to do that.
Pero cuando voy a hacer algo,
But when I'm going to do something,
no me cambia
it doesn't change.
el pensamiento.
It doesn't change
La
my thought.
determinación.
The determination.
Por eso le compartía a varias personas ya de mi edad.
That's why I was sharing to various
cerca
people
de mi edad.
of my age or close to my age.
La madurez
The maturity
no tiene que ver con tu edad.
doesn't have to do with your age.
La madurez tiene que ver con aprender de los problemas.
Maturity has to do with you learning off of your
Cuando tú
problems.
repites tu problema,
When you repeat your
tú no has
problems,
determinado un cambio en tu vida.
you have not determined a change in your
Tú has
life.
querido vivir
You have wanted to
en
change.
esa forma
in that way.
sin que seas establecido
You've wanted to live in that
y que
way
te armes de valor.
without
Mira,
it being
alguien y dile, yo
established
tengo un
and
valor
arming you
increíble.
of valor. Look at somebody and say, I have an incredible valor.
¿No te has dado cuenta que la gente confunde valor con el coraje?
Haven't you noticed that the people confuse that valor with the courage?
¿Sabías tú que tú puedes pelear con alguien no porque tienes valor,
Did you know that you could fight against somebody not because you have valor?
sino simplemente el mismo nervio te puede provocar y tomar una
If
decisión
not, simply your nerves can provoke you and make you make a decision.
y no ser de valor?
And it's not a decision of
Por eso en
valor.
el evangelio
That's why in the gospel,
está definido el hombre, la mujer,
the man or a woman is defined,
que quiere ser elevado.
but those that want to be
Yo
elevated.
quiero vivir de elevación en
I
elevación.
want to live from elevation to elevation.
No porque lo tenga en mi mente,
Not because I have it in my
sino
mind,
porque Él lo puso en mi
if
mente.
not because he put it in my mind.
Óyelo bien,
Listen
no es que
well.
lo tenga en mi mente,
It's not that I have it in
es
my
que Él lo
mind.
puso en mi mente.
It's that he put it
Él
in
me
my
dijo que me
mind.
llevaría
He said that
de
he would take
gloria
me
en
from
qué.
glory to what?
Oh, que Él me llevaría
That he
de
would
mejor a
take me
mejor.
from what is good to
Lee
better.
bien la palabra.
You have to read the
La
word
palabra me
correctly.
enseña a mí
The Bible teaches
que
me
yo nací para
that I
conquistar.
was born to conquer.
Mira a alguien y dile, tú estás como quieres.
Look at somebody and say, you are as you want to be.
Tú estás como quieres.
You are as
Cuando-
you wanna be.
Cuando tú quieres decidir
When
y
you want to
eres
decide,
determinado,
when,
vas a avanzar.
when you are determined, you are going
Vas
to
a tener
advance.
poder.
You're going to have power.
Tienes que compartir con otros.
You have to share with
Pero la
others.
gente tiene que ver lo que hablas.
But the people have to see what you speak.
No hables si no se está viendo.
Don't talk if it's not being
Porque
seen.
el problema es
Because the problem
que
is
yo querer, y yo estoy convencido en esto,
That for me to want to,
y
and I'm
esto es algo
convinced in
que aún
this,
la psicología lo expresa,
this is something that even psychology expresses.
todo lo que tú intentes,
Everything that you try,
nunca lo vas a cambiar.
you're never going to change.
El intento
Trying
es el anhelo interno
is that internal longing that you
de una
have
frustración
of a frustration
que sabes que lo debes de cambiar,
that you know that you should change
pero lo
it,
intentas porque ese día te frustraste.
but you try it because that day you got frustrated.
Cuando la frustración te gana,
When the frustration wins,
no hay determinación.
there is no determination.
Entonces hoy tenemos que determinar.
So
Mira, alguien
today,
dile hoy.
look at somebody and say, today
Hoy,
we have to determine
¿Cuál será tu
today.
victoria?
What is your victory going to be?
Mi victoria no depende de ti.
My victory does not depend on you.
No confundas una cosa con la
Don't
otra.
confuse one thing with
Por
another.
eso la gente
That's why the
que
people
usa la expresión,
that use the expression,
pero
oh,
mira cómo él vive,
but look how he
o que
lives,
los pastores,
or the
o
pastors,
que aquellos
or that person,
no diezman,
they don't give
no traen
tithes,
primicia,
they don't bring the
no
first fruits,
ofrendan,
they don't give
no
offerings.
tiene que ver conmigo.
It doesn't have to do with me.
Tiene que ver que todavía tu corazón es corrompido.
It has to do with your heart still being
Tu
corrupted.
corazón no sabe darle a Dios.
Your heart doesn't know how to give to
Porque
God.
mi finanza
Because my
y la
finances
tuya
and yours,
no depende de nosotros.
they don't depend on us.
La finanza tuya depende de lo que tú hagas con Dios.
Your finances depend on what you do
La
with God.
finanza tuya depende,
Your finances
tu
depend
progreso depende
Your progress
de cuán
depends
determinado tú estás
on how determined you
en
are
hacer lo que dice la
in
palabra.
doing what the word says.
Entonces, hay elementos físicos
So there's physical
escuche bien,
elements. I want you to listen well.
que no se van a poder mover.
That they're not going to be able to be moved.
Porque aunque tengas poder,
Because even if you have power,
agárrate esta,
grab onto this one here,
no vas a hacer nada sin las fuerzas de Dios.
you're not going to be able to do anything without the strength of God.
Hay poder
There's power
que no levanta.
that doesn't lift
Hay
up.
poder que te hace sentir bien.
There's power that makes you feel good.
Yo me di cuenta en mi propia
I
vida,
noticed in my own
yo
life,
tenía un poder falso,
I had a fake
la
power,
economía.
the economy.
Yo siempre he sido un hombre que sabe producir.
I've always been a man that knows how to produce.
Yo elegí
I chose
no estancarme en nada
to not get stuck in
porque
anything
yo sabía que yo era un hombre que producía.
because I knew that I was a man that
Yo
produced.
sabía
I
lo
knew.
que yo podía
I
hacer.
knew what I was able to do.
Pero si yo no hubiera determinado
But if I would have had not determined
lo que yo quería hacer,
what I wanted to do,
entonces yo tenía poder cuando tenía dinero.
then I would have had power when I had
Por
money.
eso hay muchos que ríen cuando tienen,
That's why there's many that will smile when they
pero se
have,
amargan cuando la cuenta baja.
but they're bitter when their account goes down
Porque su vida tiene poder en el dinero,
because their life has power in the money
no en la fuerza de Dios.
and not in the strength of God.
Cuando yo aprendí en Dios,
When I
en
learned in
Dios,
God,
porque
in
sin
God,
Dios,
because without God,
pues me sentía bien cuando tenía.
well, I felt good when I had.
Pero cuando aprendí en el Señor,
But when I learned in the
yo
Lord,
entendí que yo tenía que determinar algo.
I understood that I had to determine
Y era
something.
sencillo,
And it was simple.
depender de Dios.
I had to depend
Entonces,
on God.
el Señor me educó y me enseñó
So the Lord educated me. He
que
taught
yo
me
siempre iba a tener
that I was always going to have
sin tener.
without having.
¿Entendió eso?
Did you understand that?
Que siempre iba a tener
That I was always going to have
sin tener.
without having.
Porque el que está con él,
Because the one that is with
nada le
him
puede faltar.
cannot be in need of anything.
Escúchalo, nada le puede faltar.
Listen, they cannot be in need of anything.
Entonces, hasta que tú no determines o tomes la decisión de vencer,
So until you determine or make the decision that you're going to conquer,
el enemigo te va a perseguir siempre con tu propia debilidad.
the enemy's going to continue to chase you with your own
Te va a
weakness.
seguir con tu debilidad.
He's going to follow
Él
you
va a
with your weakness.
acecharte.
He is
Él
going to
va a
go after you.
molestarte.
He's going to
Él va a
bother you.
perseguirte.
He's going to
Él te
pursue
va a
you.
derrotar.
He is going to defeat
Y
you.
te va a destruir completamente.
And he will destroy you
Yo tengo
completely.
una mentalidad bien diferente.
I have a very different
Yo
mentality.
soy alguien que los que me conocen de
I am
cerca,
someone that those that know me
ahí
up
te la
close,
raspo ahí, si te
I'm
gusta,
going to
pues,
say it to you straight
brega.
up. If you like it, deal with it. And if
Si
not,
no, pues, pero tengo una habilidad
but I do have an ability
que cuando lo hago mal,
that when I do something
no
wrong,
me tardo en pedir perdón.
I don't take long in asking
Nah,
for
yo si
forgiveness.
no, los que
Nah.
me conocen saben
Those
que
that
si
know
lo
me,
hice mal,
you know that
te
if I did
pido
it wrong,
perdón.
I'm going to ask you for forgiveness.
Porque yo aprendí,
Because I learned.
si yo estoy determinado a ser feliz,
If I am determined that I'm going to be happy,
aprendí que mi corazón tiene que estar limpio.
I learned that my heart has to be clean.
Si mi corazón no está limpio,
If my heart is
no
not
voy a
clean,
poder ser feliz.
I am not going to be able to be
La
happy.
felicidad no está basada en lo que tienes.
Happiness is not based on what you have.
Hay cosas
There's
que el
things
salmista decía,
that the psalmist
tú
would say,
enderezas mi camino
you straighten my way
y no me lastimo mis tobillos.
and I don't hurt my ankles.
Oh, ah, date cuenta de la expresión del
Notice
salmista.
the expression of the psalmist.
Como voy armado de poder,
Because I am armed
voy
with
armado
power.
de fuerza,
I am armed with
voy
strength.
armado de
I
valor,
am armed with valor.
Escuche bien, de
Listen
valor.
well. Of valor,
tú me mantienes.
you maintain me.
¿En dónde?
Where?
¿Dónde te mantienes?
Where does he maintain you?
En las alturas.
In the high places.
¿Sabes? Deja de estar pensando lo que otros digan.
You know, stop thinking about what others
Desde que
say.
está arriba es orgulloso.
Oh, they say, oh, from the moment he got up very high, he has been prideful.
Mira, el que es orgulloso pelado con dinero,
Look, the one
con
that
cosas y
is
sin cosas.
prideful, they're prideful with money, with things, without things.
El
Without
problema
money.
de la altura,
The problem of the
cuando
height,
tú estás en
when
altura,
you are in the high places,
es que tú hablas diferente,
is that you speak differently.
actúas diferente,
You act differently.
caminas diferente.
You walk
Entonces,
differently.
el que se queda como el pitirre,
And the one that stays like this bird behind,
picando tus alas,
that is trying to bite at your wings,
se daña el mismo,
they will damage their own
porque no
selves.
entiende el progreso.
Because they don't understand the
Hasta que
progress.
tú no entiendas que Dios te armó de valor a
And
ti,
until you understand that God armed you
tienes
with
que
valor,
dejar de estar desanimando.
you have to stop getting discouraged.
Mire, yo he visto jovencitos que yo digo, hombre,
Look, I've seen
sí.
young ones that I say,
Mire que frustrados porque el novio la dejó,
young ones that are frustrated because the boyfriend left them,
que caen en depresión.
that they fall into a depression.
Mira, si tú caes en depresión porque el novio te dejó, la novia te dejó,
Look, if you fall into a depression because the boyfriend
No
left
te
you or the
cases.
girlfriend left you, don't
No te
get
cases
married.
porque a la
Don't get
primer
married.
problemática te
Because
mueres
in the
del
first
corazón.
problem, you're going to die of your heart.
Ah, no me está.
You're
Ay,
not understanding.
muchacho. Yo fui tan rechazado que
I
esa
was
historia
so
es vieja y usted la
rejected.
conoce.
And this is an old story. You already know
Pero
this
cuando fui
story.
a Puerto Rico
But
ya con más
when I
madurez
went
y
to
con
Puerto
más
Rico with
estilo,
more maturity,
dije,
with more style,
ahora es que van a ver la
I
verdad de la
said, now they're
realidad.
going to see the truth of the reality.
Oye, ¿qué cambio tú has dado?
Oh, you've given a big change.
Sin embargo, tú sigues igual.
And I said, however, you continue to be the same.
Tú tienes que tener la visión.
You have to have the
Tú
vision.
tienes que determinar lo que vas a
You
cambiar.
have to determine what you're going to
A
change.
Eda se lo dijeron.
They said to
Pero
Eda,
ese jíbaro.
oh, he is a country boy.
Mira ese muchacho
Oh,
de un garaje de
look at that guy.
gasolina.
He's at a gas station.
Él no tiene ni estilo.
Working at a gas station. He
Y ella
doesn't
le
even
dijo, yo lo voy a
have
cambiar.
style.
Tranquila.
And she
Yo-
said,
yo
I'm
le
going
voy
to
a
change him.
enseñar.
Be calm. I'm going to teach him.
Yo lo voy a vestir.
I'm going to dress
Yo
him.
le voy a cambiar su
I'm going to
formato.
change his format.
Porque ya parece que se dio cuenta, él no tiene formato,
Because
pero
it
tiene
seems
una
like she
mente.
noticed, oh, he doesn't have the format, but he has a mind.
Porque hay gente que tiene formato, pero
Because
no
there's
tiene
people that have a
mente.
format, but they don't have a mind.
No están determinados a la
They're not
conquista.
determined to
Yo me
conquer.
juré de por vida
I swore for
y
life.
lo aprendí en el Señor
And I
con más
learned it in the
fuerza.
Lord with more
Yo
strength.
no voy a
I
morir
will
en
not
pobreza.
die in poverty.
Si usted quiere pensar que eso es arrogancia,
If you want to think
ese es
that's
su
arrogance,
problema.
that's your problem.
Pero yo no.
But not me.
Yo sé ser humilde
I know
con y
how to be
sin.
humble with and
Oh
without.
my God, porque Él me arma de poder.
Because he arms me of power.
Dios te está dando poder.
God has given you
El
power.
Salmo 27:13 dice:
Psalms 27:13 says,
pero una cosa estoy seguro, he de ver la bondad del Señor en esta tierra de los
I
vivientes.
remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in this land of the living.
No estoy esperando llegar al cielo.
I'm not waiting to make it to
En
heaven.
la tierra de los
It's
vivientes.
here in the earth of the
Cuando yo
living.
llegue allí,
When I make it there,
Él me va a decir:
He's gonna say,
ahora aquí todo es fácil.
now here everything is easy.
¿Sabe? Cuando no hay visión,
You know, when there's no vision,
ella vio, ella dijo: déjame cambiarle la camisa
she
que
saw
usa.
and she said, let me change the shirt that he
Déjame cambiarle
uses.
los pantalones que usa.
Let me change the pants that he
Déjame
uses.
cambiarle el
Let me
estilo.
change his style.
Porque el problema es
Because the problem
que
is
tú nunca vas a poder cambiar nada si no hay visión.
that you're never going to be able to change anything if there's no vision.
Tu situación no cambia hasta que tengas visión.
Your situation will not change until you have vision.
Yo nunca dije
I never
y
said,
nunca he dicho
and I've never
que a mí
said
no me gusta el alcohol.
That I don't like alcohol.
A mí me gusta la cerveza.
I like beer.
Yo el olor y todo. Yo,
The
oh,
smell
María
and
Señor.
everything. I say, oh, Lord.
Está bien, yo soy un carnal.
That's okay. I'm a
No hay
carnal
problema.
man. No problem.
Tú decides,
You decide.
pero no me midas con tu pensamiento.
But don't measure me with your thought.
Mídeme con tu estilo de vida.
Measure me with your lifestyle.
Pero tuve que tomar la elección
But I had to make the
y
choice.
la decisión
I had to make the decision
hasta dónde podía llegar.
up to where I was able to make it.
¿Qué me beneficiaba más?
What was benefiting me more?
Si el alcohol
The
o
alcohol
mi familia.
or my family?
¿Ve?
You see?
Porque no es que no me guste.
Because it's not that I don't like it.
Mira, yo estaba atado por el diablo.
Oh no, I was bonded by the devil.
Oh my God.
My God.
No, mira.
No, look.
El diablo, no, hombre, no, que atado ni atado.
What bondage?
El diablo no bebe.
The devil doesn't drink.
Él va a usar tu atadura.
He's going to use your bondage.
La atadura está en tu carne.
The bondage is in your
Entonces los
flesh.
demonios se apoderan
So the demons will take hold
y te dominan.
and it has dominion of it.
Pero tú no puedes, tú
Of
tienes
you.
que entender.
But you have to
Por
understand.
una cosa estoy seguro.
But for one
Voy
thing,
a
I'm
ver la
sure,
bondad de Dios.
I will see the kindness of God.
Cuando hay falta de visión.
When there's lack of vision.
¿Por qué le estoy volviendo a acordar estas cosas con mi vida?
And why am I reminding you of these things with my life?
Porque yo tengo las herramientas para enseñarte, pero tú no quieres escuchar.
Because I have the tools to be able to teach you, but you don't want to listen.
Yo nunca he querido hacerme más que tú,
I've never wanted to be more than you,
pero he visto tu potencial.
but I've seen your potential.
Entonces yo sé tu potencial.
I know your
Yo
potential.
conozco tu poder.
I know your
Pero
power.
tú no lo quieres desarrollar
But you don't want to
porque
develop
tienes
it
miedo a decisiones.
because you're scared of decisions.
Tú tienes que entender.
You need to understand.
Mire esto, mire esto.
Look at this, look.
Tú tienes que aprender a elegir.
You have to learn how to choose.
Abraham permitió que Lot eligiera la tierra
Abraham allowed Lot to choose the land
porque sabía que la bendición no residía en la tierra,
because he knew that the blessing did not reside on the land,
sino con él.
if not with him.
Nadie te va a poder quitar lo que tú
Nobody's
eres de
going to be able
bendición.
to take away from you what you are of a blessing.
El que se aleja porque te
Whoever
envidia
separates from you is
no
because they're
va a
envious.
recibir lo que tú tienes.
And they will not receive what you have.
No necesitas pelear por cosas.
You don't have to fight for things.
Tienes la bendición donde quiera que vayas.
You have the blessing wherever you go.
La bondad y la misericordia te
The
seguirán.
goodness and the mercy will follow you.
Recuerda
Remember
que cuentas con el favor de Dios.
that you count with the favor of God.
Mira, alguien dile: yo cuento con el favor.
Look
Con el
at somebody
favor.
and say, I count on the favor, the favor.
Con el favor.
The
Con el
favor,
favor.
the favor,
Con el favor.
the favor,
Con el favor.
the
Con el
favor,
favor.
the favor.
Hoy voy a decir algo que Eda no lo sabe.
Today I'm going to say something that Eda doesn't know.
Y muchos de ustedes no lo saben.
And many
Bueno,
of you don't
lo
know.
que he hablado con lo del carro.
Those that I have talked about about my car.
¿Cuánto está el interés del mercado?
How much is the interest of the market right now?
Para los carros.
For the
Más o
cars,
menos,
for
que
purchasing
León
a
sabe,
car.
más o menos.
You know, how many of you know? Leon, you know.
Hay
around
gente
about.
teniendo el crédito bueno.
Oh, and people having a good credit.
7.
7.
¿Usted sabe cuánto yo pago?
Do you know how much I pay?
0.
0.
0.
0.
Yo le propuse un negocio.
I proposed
Yo lo busco si me das
a
esto.
deal with the guy. I said, I'll buy it if you give me this.
El favor,
The favor.
tú lo determinas.
You
Pastor, ¿y
determine
cómo que
it.
cero?
And Pastor, how
Ellos
zero?
estabilizaron un pago y me dieron, si nos das este pago
They
directo a
established
nosotros,
a payment. They said, if you make this payment directly to us,
no hay interés.
there is no interest.
Yo sé que a lo mejor usted dirá, pero suerte.
And I know that you probably say, oh, that's luck. Luck?
El favor determina.
The favor
Cuando tú
determines.
sabes lo que tú eres,
When you know what you are,
tú eres el que impone las cosas.
you are the one that imposes things.
El favor
The
te va a
favor
bendecir.
is going to bless you.
Cuando no hay visión,
When there's no vision,
Osea 4:6 dice,
Hosea 4:6 says,
pues por falta de conocimiento, mi pueblo ha sido destruido.
my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge.
Yo no voy para allá a estar 5 horas en el dealer.
I said, I'm not going to go to your dealer to be there 5 hours.
Si tú quieres todo lo que hay, todo por
If you
texto
want,
y
this is
email.
what there is. Everything was through email and text message.
Me llaman y me dicen, ven, ya tienes todo listo. Y yo,
He
está
called
todo,
me
lo
and
que
said,
tienes que
come.
venir
And I
a
said,
firmar.
do you have everything ready? And he said, yes, everything is ready. All you have to do is sign.
Firmé.
And I signed.
Y le dije, hoy necesito la alfombra de all season para no dañar la carpeta.
And I said, and I need the all-season carpets inside so that I don't
Claro, ellos
damage the
nunca
carpet of the car.
pierden.
You know, they never lose.
Ellos también saben con quién están negociando.
They also know who they're negotiating with.
Toca a alguien y dile, yo tengo que
Touch
determinar.
somebody and say, I have to determine.
¿Sabe? Cuando tú rechazas
You know, when you reject
el conocimiento de lo que tú eres,
the knowledge of who you
mira a
are,
alguien y dile que yo sé lo que soy y no lo
look
hago.
at somebody and say, I know what I am, who I am, but I don't do it.
También rechazas el sacerdocio que Dios te está regalando.
You are also rejecting that priesthood that God is gifting you
¿Tú
with.
sabes cuál es el peligro de muchas mujeres?
Do you know what the problem of many women
Que
is?
piensan como hombre pero quieren actuar como dama.
That they think as a man, but they want to act like a lady.
O alinea tu
Either
pensamiento
you align
de
your
acuerdo a lo
thoughts
que eres.
according to what you are.
Pero es que mi esposo.
Oh, it's that my husband.
Es que él.
It's that he.
Es que él no toma
He
decisiones.
doesn't make
Es
decisions.
que ese problema te lo buscaste tú.
You were the one that got that
El
problem.
que se casó con ese gato
Because
fuiste
the
tú.
one that got married with that cat was you.
No le eches la culpa.
No. Don't blame.
Tú fuiste la que lo elegiste.
Don't blame him. You were the one that chose him.
No. A veces tienen mucho gain,
Sometimes they have a lot of gain,
pero no son determinados.
but they're not determined.
Te faltó visión.
You were lacking vision.
Ella vio un jíbaro.
She saw a country boy.
Ella vio un jíbaro.
She saw the
Ella vio
country
al del
boy.
campo.
She saw the
Ella
one
vio
that was
al
from the
loco.
country, the
Ella vio al
crazy one.
charlatán.
She saw the charlatan.
Pero parece que cuando escuchaba hablar y veía mis
But it seems
decisiones.
like when she would hear me talk
Dios,
and
si
see
lo
my decisions,
cambio.
she said, if I change him,
No, si lo cambio.
if I change him,
Si lo empujo.
if I push him,
¿Sabes? Tú tienes que entender.
you know, you need to understand.
Alguien dijo,
Someone
aprende
said,
esto. Mira, yo
"Learn
estoy
this."
no dándote motivación, yo estoy enseñándote herramientas que tienes que usar.
Look, I'm not giving you motivation. I'm giving you the tools
Porque
for
hay
you
gente que son
to
buenos
use.
motivadores, pero no viven lo que motivan.
Because there's people that are good motivators, but they don't live what they motivate.
Yo necesito gente de valor,
I need people of valor,
gente que me empuje.
people that are going to push me.
Alguien dijo,
Someone said,
la distancia que mantuviste
the distance that you kept
durante mi lucha,
during my struggle,
voy a necesitar
I'm going to need now
que la dupliques
for you to
o
double
que
it,
entiendas
or for you to understand
durante mis éxitos.
during my success.
Había un deportista ahí hablando
There was a sportsman that was
en
talking
una entrevista
in an interview
porque tuvo problemas
because he had
por la
problems
economía y ahora no está bien.
because of the economy, and now he's not
Dijo, ya no me
he's not
buscan
doing
como
good.
antes.
And he said, I don't like it like
Ya no
before,
están los que decían estar conmigo.
because those that said that they were going to be with me
Los
are
que
not
se
there.
llamaron mi amigo.
Those that called themselves my friend.
Y yo con ganas de llamar, pero ya era grabado, pero yo con ganas si hubiera
And
podido
I felt like I
llamar.
wanted to call, but it was already
Ellos
pre-recorded.
nunca fueron tu amigo, ellos estaban
But if I
interesados
could
en
have
tu
called,
finanza.
I was going to say, they were never your friends. They were just
El
interested
amigo tuyo,
in
alguien, tengo
Say
que
to somebody,
determinar, tengo
I
que
have to
determinar.
determine, I have to determine.
Tú te acuerdas cuando el Señor dijo, si te olvidas de mí, me olvido de tus
Do you
hijos.
remember when the Lord said, if you forget me, I'm going to forget about your children?
Hay padres que se han olvidado de Dios y
There's
quieren que
parents
Dios se acuerde de los hijos.
That have forgotten about God, but they want God to remember
Dios
their
no va a
children.
trabajar así.
God is not going to work
Te
that way.
acuerdas de Él
You
y Él se
remember
acuerda
him,
de tus
and
hijos.
He will remember your children.
Vives para Él
You live for
y
him,
Él está determinado
and He is
a
determined
vivir por tus hijos
to live
y
for your
los hijos
children
de tus
and
hijos.
the children of your children.
¿Sabe que Dios lo expresa eternamente?
You know that God expresses it
Porque
eternally.
hay Biblia que dice que si 3 generaciones.
Because there's Bibles that say 3
El
generations.
original realmente dice hasta 1000
In the
generaciones.
original, it truly says up to
Tú vas a tener
1,000
1000
generations.
generaciones. Tú vas a ver 1000
Are you going to
generaciones.
see 1,000
No, el
generations?
Señor lo que te está diciendo, aunque te
What the
muera,
Lord
velaré
is
por los
saying is,
vivos tuyos.
even if you die, I'm going to watch over your family that is
Te
alive.
mueres y Él sigue mirando al tuyo.
You die, but He continues to look at
No
yours.
se parece cuando David dijo,
Doesn't that seem like when David said,
¿habrá alguno vivo?
is there anyone alive?
¿Quedará alguien
Is
vivo
there anybody left alive
de la descendencia de mis amigos?
from the descendants of my friend?
O como dijo,
How did he
de mi
say?
amigo.
Of my friend.
Allí llegó el traductor,
And
el
there came the
que sabía
translator,
todo.
the one that knew it all.
Sí hay uno, pero tiene las piernas
Yes,
viradas.
there's one, but his legs are
El tipo está
affected.
atrás.
The guy is a little
El
behind.
tipo está atrás.
You know, the guy is
¿Sabe? Para
behind.
sentarse aquí a la mesa.
You know, for him to come and sit here
Y
at
yo
the
quiero que me lo
table.
busquen.
And he said, I want you to go and get him for me.
Sin pedirle explicaciones de
Without
Dios desde
asking
hoy.
for explanation. He said, from today.
¿No se parece eso en la cruz cuando,
Doesn't that seem
cuando
almost
Jesús le
like
dio
on the
desde
cross?
hoy,
When Jesus
brother?
said, from today,
Desde hoy.
brother, from today.
Porque no fueron ellos los que murieron en la cruz, fui
Because
yo.
they were not the
Soy
ones
yo el
that
que
died
está
on the
aquí
cross. It
muerto.
was me, the
Eres
one
tú el
that
que
is
estás
here dead.
pidiendo
You
perdón.
are the one
Eres
that's
tú el que
asking for
estás
forgiveness.
reconociendo.
You are the one that's
Cuando tú
recognizing.
reconoces
When
la
you recognize
determinación del
the
Cristo de la
determination
gloria.
of the Christ of the glory.
¿Sabe? Cuando tú estás determinado no puede haber incredulidad.
You know, when you are determined, you cannot have disbelief.
Bueno, estoy orándole esto a Dios, ¿verdad? A ver
Well,
si sale.
I'm praying this to God to see
Mira,
if
deja
it
de
comes
orar.
out right.
Deja de
Look,
orar.
stop praying.
De verdad,
Stop
deja de
praying.
orar.
Truly, stop praying.
Cuando ores, oras creyendo.
When you pray, pray believing.
Él dijo y se va a
He
cumplir.
said and it's going to be fulfilled.
Él dice y se va a hacer.
He says and it's going to be done.
Tú no puedes tener miedo.
You cannot have fear.
Hay gente que Dios los está bendiciendo y todavía hablan con miedo.
There's people that God is
Todavía
blessing
tienen
and they're
miedo a
still
perder el
speaking with
trabajo.
fear. They're afraid
Todavía
of
tienen
losing
miedo
their
a pasar
job.
por
They're
cosas.
afraid of
Todavía
going through
tienen miedo
things.
cuando
They're
las
still
situaciones se le
afraid when the
complican.
situations get complicated.
No, cuando estamos seguros en
No,
Dios,
when we
Él
are
dijo y
secure
se
in
va a
God,
cumplir.
He said
Si me
and it's
saca
going to be
del trabajo,
fulfilled. If He
Él
takes me
va a
out of my
hacer.
job, He is going to do.
No te salgas del trabajo porque tú quieres.
Don't leave your job just because you
Porque
want
vas a
to.
pasar hambre.
Because then you're going to go through hunger.
Es si Él te llama.
It's if He calls you.
Si Él te dice salte.
If He says leave
Tú
your
te
job,
sales.
then you'll do it.
Porque no me digas que Él te dice que te sale y
Because
y
don't tell
estás
me that He's the
trabajando
one that's
todavía.
taking you out of your job,
Pues
but
no
you're still
diablo
working.
Dios.
Well, God was not the one that
O si te habló
spoke
Dios,
to you. And if God spoke to
Tú
you,
todavía no entiendes la voz de Dios.
you still don't understand the voice of God.
Pero si lo hablamos antier,
But we talked about this
Saber
the other
hacer lo
day.
bueno
Knowing how to do what is
y
good
no hacerlo,
and not do it
te he contado como
is
que
accounted as what?
como pecado.
As sin.
Entonces significa
So it means
que cuando yo estoy
That
determinado,
when I am determined,
yo voy a empezar la dieta en enero porque ahora viene Navidad.
I'm going to
viene-
start my
eso no es
diet in January
determinación.
because now Christmas time is
Eso no
coming.
es
That's not
determinación.
determination.
Porque en enero viene el mismo
Because
proceso.
in January
Viene
the
tu
same process is coming. Your
cumpleaños,
birthday's
vienen
going to come up,
vacaciones,
vacation time is
viene
going to come
esto,
up,
viene lo
this,
otro.
the other is going to come up,
Vuelven las Navidades.
and you come back
Entonces
to
tú vas a venir con la
Christmas,
misma historia.
and then you're going to come with the same story?
Cuando tú estás determinado, tú lo haces desde ese día.
When you are determined, you're going to do it from that
La
day.
gente determinada, la
The
gente
people
que
that are
está
determined,
procesada.
The people that are processed.
Números 14:9, mira lo que dice.
Numbers 14:9, look what it says.
Así que no se rebelen contra el Señor ni tengan miedo de la gente que habita en esa tierra. Ya son pan comido. No tienen quien los proteja porque el Señor está de nuestra parte. Así que no le tengas miedo al jefe.
Only do not be a rebel against the Lord, and do not be afraid of the people of that land, because I will devour them. Their protection is gone, but the Lord is with us. Do not be afraid of your boss.
Hazte una pregunta.
Ask
¿Tienes
yourself a
trabajo
question.
o eres esclavo del trabajo?
Do you have a job, or are you a slave of your job?
La gloria llena la tierra
The glory fills the earth.
¿Sabe?
You know.
La gente no se cansa y no entienden de ver su gloria y siguen en lo mismo.
The people don't get tired and they see his glory, but they continue to be in the same.
¿Tú sabes cuál es? Y usted dirá, ay, que mucho él ataca a las mujeres.
And you might say, oh, he attacks
Yo no
the women a
ataco a las
lot.
mujeres.
I don't attack the women.
Yo sé que hay un montón de hombres aquí,
I know that there's
que
a bunch
son
of
unos
men
bulembos.
here that are weak men.
Y no, allá no, aquí
And
yo no
not
puedo
over
hablar de los
there,
que no veo.
Here, I can't talk about the ones that I don't see.
Pero el problema
But the problem
de una mujer
of a woman
es que se casa y quiere mandar.
is that she gets married and she wants to rule.
Si usted se llena la boca y usted le sube la voz a su marido,
If you fill
usted
your
no
mouth and you
respeta.
raise your voice at your husband, you do
Dios
not
no va a
respect.
cambiar a tu marido.
God is not going
No
to change
lo
your
va a
husband. He
cambiar.
will not change
Dios
him.
te está diciendo a ti, haz tú lo que tienes que
God is
hacer y
saying
yo hago
to
lo que tengo que
you, you
hacer.
do what you have to do and I'll do what I have to do.
Ya le he dicho a Eda y se lo he dicho y lo
I've
vuelvo y lo
said it
repito
to
aquí,
Eda
lo
and I'm
repito
going
en
to
las
repeat it and I'm going to
cámaras.
repeat it to the cameras.
Hay mujeres que le dicen,
There's women
yo no
that
sé
say
cómo tú aguantas ese hombre.
To her, I don't know how you could tolerate that man.
Yo no sé cómo tú lo respetas
I don't
tanto.
know how you
Yo no
respect
sé
him so
cómo tú
much.
eres esto. Yo
I
no
don't
sé
know
cómo
how
tú
you're
eres
this,
aquello.
how you're that.
Yo le he dicho dos cosas.
I've said two things
Pregúntale
to
a
her.
ella si el marido de ella le da lo que yo te doy
Ask
a
that
ti.
woman if that woman receives from her husband what
Y
I give to you.
segundo,
And second,
soy mucho para ti.
I am too much for you.
Por eso no me casé contigo.
That's why I did not get married with
Y
you.
si ella se muere contigo no me voy a
And
casar.
if she dies, I'm not going to get married with you.
Usted está equivocado.
You have
Mira,
gotten
alguien
it wrong.
dile, hay que determinar lo que voy a hacer en mi
Look
vida.
at somebody and say, I have to determine what I'm going to do
Dile,
in my life.
no tengo miedo. Dile, no
Say,
tengo
I'm not
miedo.
afraid. I'm not afraid.
Oh, mujer,
Oh,
las que
woman,
están solteras,
those that are single.
mientras llega el hombre que tenga que llegar,
Until the man that has to come
sigue
comes.
preparándote tú,
Continue
sigue
to prepare
creciendo
yourself.
tú,
Continue to
levántate
grow.
tú,
Continue to lift yourself up.
para cuando llegue el hombre,
So that when that man
tú lo
arrives,
midas
you're going to
y
measure
le digas,
him.
Dios mío,
And you're going to say, my God,
este es o este no
is
es.
he the one or is he not the one?
Determinación.
Determination.
He escuchado y me atreví a hablar con una persona
I've heard
con
and I dared to
respeto,
speak with a person with respect,
pero le enseñé algo.
but I taught the person
Le
something.
dije, hay oportunidades
I said there's opportunities
que las desperdiciamos
that we waste
por no tener determinación.
because of not having
Un
determination.
matrimonio no está basado
A matrimony is not
en tener
based
todo color de rosa.
on having everything color
En un
pink.
matrimonio hay traición.
In a matrimony, there's betrayal.
¿Cómo es, pastor?
How is that,
Yo no he
Pastor?
hablado de
I
infidelidad.
have not spoken about unfaithfulness.
Hay mujeres que gastan el dinero escondido del marido.
There's women that will waste away
Eso
the
es
money
traición.
hidden behind the husband's back.
Eso
That's
es traición.
betrayal. That's betrayal.
Le dije, el problema no es que te vas a morir sola.
I said the problem is not that you're going to die alone.
Es que lo que Dios te había dado tú lo desperdiciaste.
It's that what God had given you, you wasted it away.
Y puede ser que Dios no te traiga a
And
nadie.
it could be that God is not going to bring you anyone.
Y tú tengas que aprender a vivir sola.
And you are going to have to learn how to live alone.
No es que no quiero morir
I
sola.
don't want to die by myself.
Sencillo.
Simple.
¿Por qué te divorciaste?
Why did you get divorced?
Yo no estoy diciendo que las solteras aquí se van a quedar solas.
Oh, and I'm not saying that the single women here are going to stay single.
Eso es tu problema.
That's your problem.
Y tú me lo traes y yo te caso rápido. Para
You
que estés
bring
en pecado
him,
te caso.
I'm going to marry
yo no
you
tengo
quickly
problema.
for you not to be in sin. I don't have a
No.
problem with that.
Yo no oro
No.
a quién voy a casar y a
I
quién no
don't
voy a
pray who am I
casar.
going to marry or who am I not going to marry. No.
Te saco del
I'll
pecado.
take you out of that sin
Resuelve tú tus problemas.
and then you solve your problems.
Oh. Mira a alguien, no es miedo, no es miedo.
Look at somebody and say, look, it's
Voy a
not
dejar el
fear, it's
miedo,
not
díselo a
fear.
alguien.
Say it to somebody, I'm going to let go of the fear.
Mira, la gente determinada.
Look, the people that are determined,
Esto le va a picar a mucho, pero
many are
es
not
que
going to
estamos
like
hablando
this.
de un año
But it's
poderoso.
that we're talking about a powerful year.
Y va a haber momentos dados que se va a perder esa
And
oportunidad.
there's going to be moments that you're going to lose that
Porque no
opportunity.
quisiste hacer unos ajustes.
Because you didn't want to do some
Y la
adjustments.
mayoría de los ajustes,
And the majority of the adjustments,
99% de los ajustes
99% of the
que
adjustments
Dios hace
that God does,
van en contra de todo lo que nos gusta a
they go
nosotros.
against everything that we like.
Mira qué cosa.
Look what a thing.
Todo lo que Él quiere cambiarnos a nosotros nos
Everything that He
gusta.
wants to change in us, we like.
La puntualidad.
Being punctual.
Mira a alguien y dile regla de oro.
Look at somebody and say, that's a golden rule.
Si estás 5 minutos antes,
If you are there 5 minutes before,
estás a tiempo.
you are on time.
Si estás a tiempo,
If you're on time,
ya estás tarde.
you're already late.
Si estás tarde,
If you are late,
ya no estás.
you're not there no more.
La puntualidad significa,
Punctuality means,
agárrate ahora,
and now I want you to grab on,
respeto,
respect,
orden,
order,
disciplina
discipline,
y responsabilidad.
and responsibility.
Llegué tarde porque había tapón.
I arrived late because there was a traffic.
Llegué tarde porque me quedé dormido.
I arrived late because I just fell asleep.
Pero si son más que las 8:01,
But it's only 8:01.
era a las 8, no era a las 8:01.
It was at 8, not 8:01.
¿Sabes? Cuando tú estás determinado en buscar una posición en tu trabajo,
You know, when you are determined that you want a position in your job,
aún a las citas médicas yo llego media hora.
even to my doctor's appointments, I arrive half an hour
Espero.
earlier. I just sit there
Pero ¿y si
and
me
wait.
atienden antes?
But how about if they take me before?
El dealer eran a las 12 y a las 11:30 yo estaba allí.
At the dealership, it was at 12, and at 11:30, 11:40, I was already there.
Te voy a enseñar entonces por qué yo dije esto.
And I'm going to teach you now why I said this.
Orad
Pray
cuando tengas tiempo.
when you have time.
¿Qué dice?
What does it say?
Sin cesar en todo.
Non-stop in all.
Entonces yo te hago una pregunta.
Now I ask you a question.
¿Cómo tú entras a las 8 de la mañana a trabajar
How is it that you enter at 8 o'clock in the morning to work,
y te levantas a las 7:30?
but you wake up at 7:30?
¿Cómo tú sabes que te da sueño rápido y ves televisión
How is it that you know that you get sleepy quickly, but
y
you
quieres
watch
orar o
TV,
leer tarde?
but then you want to read or pray late?
Pero mira cómo te mata la gente.
But look how the people kill you.
Ah, pero que no todo el mundo es igual.
Oh, but not everybody is the same.
No todo el mundo. No, no, no.
Not everybody. No.
Vamos a corregirlo.
Let's correct that.
Mejor empieza a decir,
It's better for you to start
yo
saying,
no soy tan espiritual como tú.
I am not as spiritual as you are.
Yo soy todavía un carnal.
I'm still a carnal one.
Ah, y ahora.
How about now?
Y ahora.
How about now?
Es una falsedad.
It's false.
Cuando hay determinación, tú sabes que tú dependes de Dios.
When you have determination, you know that you depend on God.
Mi estabilidad no depende
My
de usted.
stability does not depend on you.
Mi estabilidad depende de qué relación yo tengo con Dios.
My stability depends on what relationship I have with God.
Porque yo no puedo tener miedo
Because I cannot have
con
fear
las amenazas
because of the threats
de la economía,
of the
de la
economy,
política,
of politics.
de la gente.
of the people.
No, yo tengo que estar determinado que Dios dijo.
I got to be determined
Y
that
como
God
él
said.
dijo, oh.
And because He said,
Como la competencia de trabajo.
it's like competitions at the
La
jobs.
competencia está dura.
You know, now competitions are hard.
A ver, a donde quiera te pagan 15 pesos.
Because now everywhere you get paid $15.
Entonces, tú quieres que aquel te dé trabajo por 8.
So you want that person to give you a job for 8?
Y aquí lo puedo hacer por 15.
Here I could do it for 15.
Si aquí hubiera hecho 4 papitas a freír con un
Here
hamburger,
I
me
just
gano
put
20.
4 fries to fry there with a hamburger and I could get paid 20.
¿Sí o no?
Yes or no?
Búscate cuánto se gana un policía.
You got to look for how much a police officer gets paid here.
Ahora búscate cuánto se gana un manager de guagua o un manager
And look for how much a manager at
o
Wawa
un chofer
or a
de
chauffeur
más de 5 años
that has been more than 5 years
en UPS.
in UPS.
Sobre 100 y pico de mil.
Above
Entonces, me estoy
100
ganando
something
100,000 en
thousand.
guagua y tú quieres que yo me vaya para dónde.
So I'm getting paid more than 100,000 in Wawa and you want me to go
Piensa lo que
where?
tú quieras.
You could think whatever you want.
Ah, no me está entendiendo.
You're not understanding me.
Yo no estoy hablando que no, el que quiere ser un profesional
Whoever
séalo.
wants to be a professional,
El que
be
quiere
it.
ser doctor
Whoever
séalo.
wants to be a doctor, be it.
Estudie, prepárese,
Study, prepare yourself,
progrese.
progress.
Pero cuando tú estás determinado,
But when you are determined,
cuando tú estás determinado,
when you are determined,
mira el evangelio.
Look, the
El
gospel.
evangelio es una
the
determinación
gospel is a
de obedecer
determination
un llamado de Dios.
of obeying a calling
Hay
of God.
gente que no da el 100 en la obra
There's
porque
people
todavía no se le
that they
paga.
don't give 100% in the ministry because they don't get paid yet.
Yo te tengo una noticia.
Well, I got some news
Mientras
for
tú no
you.
des el 100,
Until you give
tú
your
nunca
100,
cobrarás nada del
you will
evangelio.
never get paid
Nunca.
anything from the gospel.
Nunca.
Never.
Nunca.
Never.
Y que él da el 100 más tiempo que el trabajo.
And
No.
what is it to give my 100? To give more time than the job?
Eso
No.
tiene sentido. Si tengo 8 horas aquí, imposible 8 horas aquí.
If I have 8 hours here, impossible
Pero
that I'm
cuando
going
tú
to have
estás
8 hours here.
determinado, tú miras a
But
Dios
when
y
you
le
are
dices,
determined, you look up to God and you say,
guíame,
guide me,
enséñame,
teach me.
que yo lo haré.
I will
La
do it.
determinación.
The
Ay,
determination.
a veces hay que decirle a la gente, hablarle claro.
Sometimes you have to say to the people and speak
Hay
clearly
un
to them.
quote que también me gustó, que es una broma.
There's a quote that I also liked. It's
Pero a
a
veces tú
joke.
tienes que hablarle claro a la
But sometimes you
gente.
have to speak clearly to the people.
Egoísta, le dice este hombre a esta mujer.
This man says to this woman, you're selfish.
Te comiste el chocolate
You ate that chocolate
sin acordarte de mí.
and you didn't remember me?
Y él dijo,
And he said,
sí me acordé.
and she said, excuse me, yes, I remember.
Casi me atraganto pensando que venías de camino.
I almost choked thinking that you were on your way here.
Te perdiste. Me lo comí rápido antes que tú llegaras.
I ate it fast before you
Hay
arrived.
cosas que tú tienes que acabar
There's
antes que
things
llegue aquel.
that you have to end before that
No me
person
si lo
comes.
quieres entender,
If you
entiéndelo.
want to understand it,
Pero hay
understand
cosas
it.
que tú
But
vas a
there's
hacer
things that you're going to
antes
do
que llegue aquel.
before that person
Porque aquel lo
arrives.
que viene es a
Because what that
conquistar
person is coming
lo que
is
ya es
to
tuyo.
conquer
A
what is
comerse
yours
lo
already.
que es tuyo.
To eat
A
what is
disfrutar
yours.
lo que es
To
tuyo.
enjoy what is yours.
Oh my God. La falta de carácter, el doble ánimo.
The lack of character, being double-minded.
Hay cosas que tenemos que avanzar.
There's things that we have to advance.
Yo tengo gente aquí
I have people here
que yo los escucho.
that I hear them.
Hay gente, mujeres,
There's people, there's women
que son administradores de sus finanzas.
that are the people that administer
Hoy
their
están
finances.
retiradas
And today they're retired
así.
like this.
Su juventud
Their youth,
la dedicaron a crecer.
they dedicated it to grow.
Hoy viajan,
Today they travel,
pero su finanza está estable
but their finances are stable
y retirado en la casa.
and they're retired at home.
Hazte una pregunta.
Ask yourself a question.
Ustedes jóvenes, ustedes
You, the young ones,
empezaron ya
did you already start
a hacer un mañana.
to create a fund for tomorrow?
Pero muchos de estos jóvenes se quieren casar
Because many of these youth want to get married,
y lo que tienen son 80 pesos en el banco.
but all they have is $80 in the bank.
Se quieren casar para ir a vivir con mami.
They want to get married to then go live with mom.
Mujer, si tú eres feliz con el que te va a casar para vivir con la suegra, pues
Woman, if you're happy with the one that you're going to get married and you're going to go and live with your in-laws, well,
no me sigue, no me
oh, are
sigue.
you following me or not?
La determinación de un carácter.
The determination of a character.
Agarra tu potencial y dil, si yo
Grab
hago
your
esto y lo hago en las
potential
manos de Dios,
And say, if I do this and I do it in the hands of
voy a
God,
llegar más lejos.
I'm going to make it farther.
¿Sabe? Cuando el Señor se dedicó y dijo en un momento dado, voy a jurar por mí mismo.
You know, when the Lord dedicated himself and he said, I'm going
Por
to take an
esta
oath
gente.
on myself for these
¿Sabe?
people.
Nadie puede despreciar
Nobody can despise
lo que Dios quiere hacer contigo.
what God wants to do with you.
Hazte una pregunta.
Ask yourself a
¿Por qué
question.
te preocupa tanto el pensamiento de otro
Why do you worry so much about somebody else's thoughts?
cuando Dios dijo de ti?
When God said about
Una de
you,
las cosas que yo procuro y se lo he enseñado a muchos.
one of the things that I proclaim and
Si
I've
Él
taught
dijo de
many,
mí, yo voy a hacer lo que yo voy a hacer,
if
que Él
he
dijo,
said
aunque
of
tú
me,
creas o no.
I'm going to do what he said, whether you believe it or not.
Porque Dios no me dijo estos te van a creer y estos no.
Because God did not say
Él
these are going to
dijo
believe and
esto es
these
lo
are
que tú
not.
tienes que hacer.
He just said to me, this is what you have
Si
to
Él
do.
afirma de tu vida de valor,
If He is affirming your life
tú
of valor,
naciste. Es más, te voy a soltar algo ahora que si lo
you were
agarras
born.
te lo
Now,
voy a
I'm going to
profetizar.
release something
El
here
año
that if you grab it, I'm going to
24
prophesy
el
it.
cielo
The
está
year
abierto
2024,
para el que quiere
heavens are
cambiar y
open for
alcanzar.
those that want to change and reach.
Dios está avanzando con su iglesia.
God is
Quiere
advancing with His
prosperar
church.
la gente.
He wants to
Lo
prosper
quiere
the people.
sanar de
He wants to
enfermedades.
heal them of
Pero
sicknesses.
tienes que determinar.
But you have to determine.
¿Sabe?
You know,
Santiago 1, 6, 8 dice
James 1, 6 and to 8 says,
que tú te lo sabes, ¿verdad?
you already know this, right?
Pero el que pida con fe,
But when you ask,
sin dudar,
you must believe and not
porque quien
doubt.
duda es como las olas del mar agitadas y llevadas de un lado a otro por el viento.
Because the one that doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind.
No puedes ser esclavo. Mira, hay gente.
You cannot be a slave. Look, there's people.
Y no confunda una cosa.
And don't confuse one thing.
Ser responsable
Being
es
responsible
parte de nuestra vida.
is part of our life.
Pero hay veces,
But there's times,
y aquí le ha pasado a muchos,
and it has happened here to many,
son más fieles al trabajo
they are more faithful to their job
que a Dios.
than what they are to God.
Nadie me va a levantar la mano.
I know nobody's not going to, they're not going to raise your, you're not going to raise your hand.
Y vuelve, hay que ser
And I
responsable.
say it again, you have to be responsible.
O sea, si tú firmaste que habían domingos que tú tenías que trabajar,
If
si te
you
llamaban,
signed and there were Sundays that you had to work if you were called,
cuando te llamen el domingo, tú no puedes llamar al jefe, no, yo tengo servicio.
when they call you on Sunday, you can't say to your boss, I have service.
Eso no tiene que ver con ser fiel.
That doesn't have to do with being faithful.
Tú aceptaste un contrato.
You accepted a
Si
contract.
te van a llamar por la noche
If they're going to call you at
y
night
lo aceptaste,
and you accepted it,
tienes que ir.
you have to go.
Eso no significa que estás dejando a Dios a un lado.
That doesn't mean that you're putting God aside.
No, estás siendo responsable.
You are being responsible.
Ahora hazte una pregunta.
But now ask yourself a question.
Levante la mano.
I don't want you to raise your
¿Cuántas
hand.
veces has llamado?
How many times have you called?
Porque te sientes cansado y no vas a trabajar.
Because you feel tired and you don't go to work.
Eso se llama
That's called
irresponsabilidad.
being irresponsible.
Entonces, la determinación
So the determination
te va a llevar a la conquista.
is going to take you to conquering.
Yo llego a mi casa ahora
I arrived to my house now
y siento, vamos a dar una vuelta.
and I say, you know, I want to go around somewheres.
Yo me voy.
I'll
El
leave.
que esté listo bien y el que no
Whoever's
también.
ready, fine. And whoever's not, that's fine too.
¿Por qué?
Why?
Porque yo estoy hoy aquí.
Because I'm here today.
Hay veces que podemos sonreír,
There's times that we could smile,
pero queremos dormir.
but we want to sleep.
Y hay, cuando debemos dormir,
And when we should sleep,
no podemos
we cannot
porque tenemos todo atrasado.
because we have everything delayed.
¿Sí o no?
Yes or no?
Hay gente que se ha atrevido a decir,
There's people that have
no
dared
tuve
to
tiempo
say
de
to me,
salir porque tuve que lavar
I
ropa.
didn't have time to go out because I had to wash clothes.
Hermano, tú estás todo el día lavando ropa, significa que tú llevas como un mes
Brother,
sin
if
lavar.
you've been washing clothes all day, it means that you haven't washed clothes for a month.
Es que me tomé todo el día limpiando la casa.
It took
Tú eres
me all
un
day
puerco
to
porque
clean
tienes
my
la
house.
casa sucia todo el mes.
Well, you're a pig because you have your house dirty all month.
No, pastor, sí.
No, Pastor,
es
yes.
imposible.
It's impossible.
Pastor, hoy no voy a llegar.
Pastor, I'm not going to arrive to service today.
Tengo que...
I have to.
No me des esa excusa de
Don't
verdad.
give me those excuses, truly.
No me las dé porque lo que me
Don't
hace es
give them
que
to me.
me cambia el mensaje.
Because you changed my message and everything.
Entonces pagan los inocentes por culpa
And then
tuya.
the innocent people are going to pay for your fault.
No, hermano.
No, brothers.
Lo que a ti no te gusta, no te gusta.
What you
Punto,
don't
se
like, you
acabó.
don't like. Point blank, that's it.
Pero no dejes excusa.
But don't give any excuses.
No dejes excusa.
Don't give
La
excuses.
excusa es una forma de no ser una persona
The
determinada.
excuse is a way of you being a person that is not determined.
Vivo en la casa.
I live in the house.
Hay un papel ahí.
There is a piece of
Hay un
paper
vaso
there.
sucio ahí.
There's a dirty glass there.
Le paso 20 veces
I
por
go
el lado.
by it 20 times.
No, cuando tú eres
No,
determinado a ser
When
una
you're a person
persona
that is determined of being a
organizada
person
y
that is
limpia,
organized and clean,
coges el vaso,
you will take the
lo
cup,
frega,
you will go
lo
wash
guarda,
it, you'll put it
aunque no
away,
lo usaste tú.
even if you were not the person that used it.
La falta de carácter y
The
doble
lack of
ánimo
character and being
no
double-minded,
levanta una
it
familia.
does not lift up a family.
Santiago lo dijo.
James
Cuando
said it.
pide con fe.
When you ask, you have to ask with
Señor,
faith.
cambia a mi marido.
Lord, change my
Para que
husband.
Dios cambie a tu marido,
For God to change
tienes
your
que
husband,
cambiar tú primero.
You have to change first.
Para que Dios cambie a tu mujer,
that God can change
marido,
your
tú
wife.
tienes que cambiar
Husband,
primero.
you gotta change first.
No, es que esto es cuestión de ABC.
It's that this is a matter of just ABC.
Yo le dije a alguien,
I said to
si
someone,
tu mujer no
if your wife does
cambia,
not change,
tú decides vivir así,
you decide to live like
deja
that,
las quejas.
well, stop complaining.
Porque tú quieres traerle la infelicidad a otro
Because you want to bring that unhappiness to others
de tu infelicidad.
of your unhappiness.
Ay, dile doble ánimo, hay que ser decidido.
Say it. You can't be double-minded. You have to be decisive.
No me digas,
Don't tell me.
este es para que se ría,
This is just so that you could laugh.
que ahora tu marido
Don't tell me that your husband
le
now
gusta apuntársela
likes to go
a
to
no bañarse, a no
likes to
bañarse
go
de
to
vez en
bed
cuando.
without showering
Y tú
sometimes,
te molestas.
and you get upset.
¿Tú sabes por qué tú te molestas?
Do you know why you get upset?
Porque no te dedicaste a conocerlo de novio.
Because you did not dedicate to know him as a boyfriend and
Te voy a
girlfriend.
hacer una pregunta. ¿Tú te bañas todos los
I'm going to
días?
ask you a question. Do you shower every day?
Entonces, si se la apunta cuando son casados,
But if now she goes to bed without
entonces tú eres
showering,
un mentiroso.
when you get married,
¿Por
then
qué?
you're a
Porque tú me
liar.
dijiste que tú te gustaba bañarte todos los
Why?
días.
Because you told me that you like to shower every day.
Toca a alguien y dile,
Touch somebody.
me gustaría verte peinado como cuando me visitabas.
And say, I would like to see your hair done like when you used to come and visit me.
Me gustaría verte afeitadito
I would like to
como,
see you all
como
nicely
cuando venías
shaved.
a sacarme a bailar.
Like when you would take me out to go dancing.
Me gustaría que entraras al cuarto
I would like to
oloroso.
enter my bedroom all smelling good.
Me gustaría que me impresionaras.
I would like for you to impress me.
Los que sí bien y los que no.
Those that fine and those that do
Me
not.
gustaría
That's
que me
okay too.
impresionaras
I would like for you to
con la
impress me
elegancia,
with the elegance,
con el porte,
with the style,
con la labia.
with trying to
fornicabas.
conquer me. The way that you did when you were
¿Me
fornicating with me.
entendió o no me entendió?
Did you understand
O sea
me or
que
not?
ahora de esposo también entre oloroso,
So now the
también
husband
entre
should
coqueto,
also
también
arrive
entre con
smelling
poder,
good,
también
smelling
entre con el
coming in with power,
deseo.
with the desire.
Ay. ¿Sí o no?
Yes or no?
Ay, hombre, no se enoje conmigo.
Man, I don't want you to get upset with me.
Si usted es puerquillo, pues cambie.
If you're a little of a pig, you got to change that.
Hay gente que tiene un problema con los pies.
There's people that have a problem with their feet.
Yo, gracias a Dios, no tengo ese
I
problema.
thank God that I don't have that problem.
No, yo, Eda, se lo pueden preguntar a Eda.
You can ask Eda.
A mí los pies no me apestan.
My feet don't stink.
¿Será que los mantengo limpios? No sé.
Is it that I keep my feet clean? I don't know.
No repito las medias.
I don't repeat my socks.
Pero imagínate, la vas a conquistar y te quita esa media y la tira y se queda pegada.
But imagine if you're going to try to conquer her, but you take off your socks and you throw them and they stay stuck.
La mujer te va a mirar y va a decir, Señor, reprenda al diablo.
That woman is going to look at you and say, the Lord rebuked the devil.
¿Sí o no?
Yes or no?
Ah, volvamos aquí.
Let's go back here.
Es que la determinación es la que va a conquistar tu vida.
It's that the determination is what's going to conquer your
Este
life.
año proponte ser el mejor esposo.
This year propose to be a better
Este año
husband.
proponte ser el mejor
This
esposo.
year propose to be the best
Este
wife.
año cambia y limpia tu corazón.
This year change and clean
Este
your
año
heart.
determina lo que
This
te
year
lleva arriba o lo que te
determine
lleva abajo.
what takes you to the top or takes
Tú
you to the bottom.
decides.
You decide.
De vez en cuando arte así.
Sometimes go like this.
Disimula.
You know, try to fake
Uy, este
it.
cocodrilo
Oh,
mata.
this smell in my mouth is killing.
Se está riendo.
You're laughing,
Pero la gente se ríe de ti.
but the people laugh of you.
Ah. Sí, antes
Yes.
de llegar a alguien.
Before you arrive to somebody,
A ver si te...
just to see if
Huela ese tojito.
smell yourself completely.
Estoy bien.
I'm okay.
Yo voy a llegar lejos.
I'm gonna make it far
De acuerdo a mi mente.
according to my mind,
De acuerdo a mi determinación.
according to my determination.
¿Sabe que yo prefiero verme elegante todos los días en mi casa que en la calle?
You know that I prefer to look elegantly every day in my house than I do
Yo
out
prefiero
in the
estar
streets.
oloroso en mi casa que en la calle.
I prefer to smell good at my house than I do in the
Pregúnteme
streets.
por qué.
Ask me why.
Porque cuando yo procuro verme bien afuera y en
Because
casa
when
no,
I proclaim to look good out there but not in my house,
yo quiero exhibirme a otro y no a lo mío.
I want to exhibit myself to others and not to what is
Cuando una
mine.
mujer se arregla en la calle
When
nada
a
más
woman
y no
only
en la
fixes
casa,
herself when
es
she's
que
going to
le
go
gusta
out
exhibirse
and not
a
in the
otro.
house, it's like she likes to exhibit herself to others.
O tú tienes que exhibirte en tu casa
You have to exhibit
determinada.
yourself in your house,
Conquistar a
determined.
tu marido.
Conquer your
Verte
husband.
sexy en tu casa.
Look sexy
Verte
at your house.
provocativa en
Look
tu casa.
provocative in your
Verte
house.
elegante en
Look
tu casa.
elegant in your house,
Para que cuando entre el galán.
so that when your gentleman comes in,
Oye, para cuando entre el galán.
for when your gentleman comes
Y
in,
ahora.
he says, now it is.
No me estás entendiendo.
You're not understanding me.
Uy. Ya casi terminamos.
And we're about to finish.
Se los hago para que se ría.
And I do this so that you could laugh.
Pero es una verdad.
But it's the truth.
Mira, mi nieta.
Look, my granddaughter,
nieta.
my
Cuando
granddaughter,
está en casa,
when she's at my house,
¿qué es lo que yo le hago?
what is it that I do?
Váyase a cambiar,
Go change,
peínese ese pelo.
comb your hair.
¿Y a quién ella le está luciendo?
And who is she trying to look good for?
A nadie.
Nobody.
Pero si le educo desde ahora,
But if I educate her from
le va
now,
a estar gustar aniquilada.
she's going to like to be looking good all the time.
Le va a estar gustar bien.
She's going to like to be good.
La disciplino, la corrijo.
The discipline, I discipline her or correct her.
¿Por qué?
Why?
Porque quiero así que cuando esté en público no
Because
haga
I want
show.
her like that. I want
Tú
her
ibas a
that when
hacer
she
show
is in
porque tú no lo
public, for
disciplinas
her
en
not
tu
to do any
casa.
shows. Your son does shows in public because you don't discipline them
No,
at
es
home.
que está en esa edad. Mire,
Oh no,
por
it's that they're in that
favor.
age. Oh look,
¿En
please.
qué edad?
What
¿Cuál edad
age?
es esa?
What age is that?
¿Cuál es la excusa? Mire que,
What is the
es que está
excuse?
pasando un proceso de qué
They're
diablo.
going through a process of what, the devil.
Yo escucho esas cosas y yo digo,
I hear
Señor,
those things and I say, Lord,
o yo soy un loco
either
o
I'm
qué pasa
crazy
conmigo.
or what's going on.
Si vamos a conquistar el 24, empecemos con nuestra familia.
If we're going to conquer in 2024, let's start with our family.
Que tu familia. Oh my God. Isaías 41 dice,
Isaiah 41 says,
verso 10.
verse 10.
Así que no temas porque yo estoy contigo.
So do
No-
not fear because I am with you.
Isaías 41, verso 10. Así que no temas, porque yo estoy contigo. No te angusties, porque yo soy tu Dios. Te fortaleceré y te ayudaré. Te sostendré con mi diestra victoriosa.
So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand.
Él va a enderezar tu camino. Si
He's
lo
the one
sigue
that's going to
leyendo,
straighten your path. If you
Él va a
continue to read
ponerte
it,
firme.
He is going to make you firm.
¿Por qué te va a poner firme?
And why is he gonna
Porque
make you
tú vas a
firm?
buscar tus enemigos y no los vas a encontrar.
Because you're going to look for your enemies and you will not find
Los
them.
enemigos son los que no le ores a Dios que mate a tu enemigo.
Don't pray to God for him to kill your enemies.
No ores
No.
para que se muera el que te criticó.
Don't pray for the person
Ora
that
para que
criticized you to
cuando estés en la
die.
altura te vean.
Pray so that when you're in the high places, they can see you.
Para que se tengan que tragar sus
So
palabras.
that they will have to swallow the words
Toca a
that they
alguien y
said.
le voy a elevarme, voy a
Touch somebody
elevarme.
and say, I'm going to elevate
Voy a
myself. I'm going to
elevarme.
elevate. I'm going to elevate.
Él dijo que yo no tema,
He
que
said
Él
that
me va
I
a
should not
ayudar.
fear because he's going to help me.
¿Quién te otorgó la victoria, los hombres o Dios?
Who granted you the victory, the men or
Entonces, ¿por qué
God?
te preocupa tanto los hombres?
So why are you so worried about the men?
Si yo fuera mujer,
If I were a woman,
yo fuera bien exigente.
I would be very demanding.
Sí.
Yes.
Y más si estoy en una línea fuerte.
And even more if I'm in a strong line.
Viene aquel,
That one comes.
no trabaja.
He doesn't work.
O si trabaja, trabaja a veces.
Or if he works sometimes.
No tiene nada.
He has nothing. Man,
No le veo un futuro.
I don't see a future.
Yo no voy a orarle a Dios si ese es.
I'm not going to go and pray to God to see if he's the one. Mm-mm.
Señor, dame la fuerza porque el tipo está bueno, pero
Lord,
para que
give
yo
me
no
the
lo
strength
mire.
because the guy looks good, but I don't even want to look at him.
Que se vaya con el jueguito y el game por otro lado.
Let him go with his games and the game that he has somewhere else.
Dios no te va a traer un vago,
God is not going to bring you a lazy man.
ni te va a traer una vaga.
He's not going to bring you a lazy woman.
Nope.
Nope.
Déjate de bobera.
Stop that foolishness.
Te van a prometer,
They're going to promise to
pero si
you.
no han hecho nada hasta ahora.
But if they have not done anything
Yo
until
estoy
now,
hablando de muchachitos de 14,
and I'm not
15
saying
años que están
young
empezando
ones that
a
are
vivir.
14, 15 years old that are just starting to
Bueno,
live
ya
now.
cuando están en los 20 y pico.
I'm talking about when they're in their 20-somethings.
¿Qué determinación tú tienes?
What determination do you have?
Hoy quieres ser electricista,
Today you want
mañana
to be an
plomero,
electrician, tomorrow you want to be a
semana que
plumber,
viene carpintero,
next week you want to be a carpenter,
la semana que viene
the
mecánico,
following week you
la
want to be a
semana que viene
mechanic,
no,
the following week you want to
espérate,
be, no, wait a
que
minute,
tú no
wait a
estás
minute.
determinado,
It's that you are
determinada.
not determined.
Eso no hay que orar.
You don't have to pray for that.
Eso es lo que hay que mirar.
All you have to do is
No,
look.
pero entonces voy a trabajar para mantenerlo.
Oh, but so I'm going to work so that I can maintain him.
Para eso me quedo sola.
For that, I'll stay alone.
Oh, ya no vamos.
We're
Dile a alguien,
leaving.
hay que determinar la
Look
vida.
at somebody and say, you have to determine
Hay
in
que
your life.
determinar la vida.
You have to determine your
Tú
life.
tienes que siempre acordarte del final del enemigo.
You always have to remember the end of the
Tú tienes
enemy.
que determinar conservar tu
And you
victoria.
have to determine that you're going to conserve your victory.
Cuando, mira, yo te voy a decir algo. Cuando a ti te corrijan,
You know,
y
when
yo
you
se
are
lo digo porque
corrected,
se lo he dicho a montones aquí.
And I say it because I've said it to many
Y
people
hay gente que
here.
los tengo ahí.
And there's people that I have them there.
Si mi corrección
If my correction
te está molestando,
is bothering you,
es porque tú tienes que cambiar.
it's because you have to change.
No venga con tu pensamiento ese psicológico
Don't
barato.
come with that psychology thought that is cheap.
Porque lo que tú tienes en tu mente no te está llevando al éxito. Estás en el mismo nivel.
Because what you have in your mind is not taking you to success. It's
Yo te
just
estoy
keeping you
dando
in the same
herramientas
level.
para que tú subas.
I'm giving you the tools so that you could
Yo
go
no te
up.
voy a tener envidia por tu éxito.
I'm not going to be envious of you
Yo no
because
te
of your
voy a tener
success.
envidia porque tú progreses.
I'm not going to be envious because you progress.
Nunca le tuve envidia a nadie siendo un muerto de hambre.
I was never envious of anyone when I was dying of hunger.
Imagínate ahora.
Imagine now.
Yo siempre he aprendido algo.
I've always learned
Mi
something.
progreso depende de mí.
My progress depends on me.
Depende de cuánto yo quiera alcanzar.
It depends on how much I want to reach.
Entonces, ninguna alma forjada del enemigo te va a
So
detener.
no weapon formed against you from the enemy is going to be able to stop you.
Deja de estar peleando con demonios.
Stop fighting against the demons.
Una mujer determinada, un hombre determinado.
A woman that is determined, a man that is determined.
Son los demonios.
Oh, it's the demons.
Sale demonio.
What demons?
Sí, hay demonios.
Yes,
Nadie
there
aquí lo
are
ha negado.
demons. Nobody has denied that
Pero
here.
¿cómo es que tú como hijo de Dios, hija de Dios,
But how is it
estás
that you as a
todo el
son or a
tiempo
daughter of
endemoniado?
God, you're always demon possessed?
¿Cómo es que todo el tiempo un demonio te tiene agajado por las patas?
How is it that all the time a demon is pulling you by the legs?
Entonces tiene más fuerza que Dios.
So he has more strength than God?
No, hay gente que hay
No.
que decirle, no, hermanito, esos no
There's
son
people that
demonios.
you have to say,
Es
no,
que tú
brother,
has
those are not
determinado en
demons.
ser una
It's
changa, un
that you have
chango.
determined that you want to be childish.
Tú has determinado en ser un gulembo, tú
You
el
have
marido tuyo,
determined
los
to be
dos.
weak, you and your husband both.
De irse a lo que
Say it.
brinquen, que hagan así, ay Dios.
Make them jump and be like, oh, God.
Mejor que se enojen
It's
contigo
better
por
for them to
decirle
get
la
angry
verdad
with you because you said the truth
que por enseñarlos a vivir engañados.
than for you to teach them how to live
Yo
life
soy ese
deceived.
tipo de hombre.
I'm that type
A mí
of
me
man.
gusta que tú me digas
I
la
like for you to
verdad.
tell me the truth.
A mí me diga que tú me digas lo que te molesta
I like
de
for
mí.
you to tell me what
A mí me
bothers you
diga
from
que
me.
lo que te gusta y lo que no te
I like
gusta.
for you to tell me what you like and you don't like.
Porque eso me va a ayudar a crecer.
Because that's going to help me to grow.
Mi regalo de Navidad.
My Christmas gift to you.
¿Quieres crecer?
You want to grow?
Determina tu vida.
Determine your life
En lo que sea.
in whatever it is.
No vivas de las críticas.
Don't live off of the criticism.
Me gusta esto.
I like this.
Nos estamos ahogando en información
We are drowning in information
mientras pasamos hambre
while we go through hunger
por no tener sabiduría.
because we don't have wisdom.
¿De qué te vale informarte tanto
What is it worth for you to inform yourself so much
si no lo vas a hacer para cambiar?
if you're not going to do it to change?
¿Qué te vale que domines la palabra
What is it worth for you to have dominion of the word
si no sacudes tu casa?
if you don't shake your household,
Si no sacudes tu ser.
if you don't shake your being?
Yo me atreví a hacer una lista.
I dared to make a list,
Decirle, estos tienen pasión
and I said, these have
y
passion
estos no.
and these don't.
Estos tienen talento,
These have talent,
pero pasión nunca la han
but
conocido.
passion they've never known.
La pasión
The passion,
te arranca el corazón.
it tears your heart
La
out.
pasión,
The passion,
hace lo mayor.
it does the biggest things.
Hay gente
There's people
que han creído tanto en esta obra
that have believed so much in this ministry,
que no cogen parte
and they don't take any part here
para nada.
at all.
Siguen el ministerio.
They continue in they follow the ministry.
¿Qué cosa?
And what a thing.
Sus ofrendas, sus tiempos,
Their offering, their tithes,
su tiempo
their time,
siempre están presentes para la obra.
they're always present for the ministry.
Entonces yo he entendido
So I have
que
understood
eso es determinación.
that that's determination.
Está creyendo en la obra.
They're believing in the ministry.
Lo que pasa es que todos queremos creer en la obra si nos dan parte.
What happens is that everybody wants to believe in the ministry only if you receive a part here,
Una posición.
a position.
Entonces, de vez en cuando evalúate.
So sometimes evaluate yourself.
No te evalúe la gente, tú mismo.
Don't let the people evaluate you. Evaluate
Empieza a hacer una
yourself
lista. He sido
and
agradecido.
start making a list. Have I been grateful?
He sido responsable.
Have I been responsible?
Con todo lo que te rodea. No
With
estoy hablando de la
everything
iglesia
that
nada más.
surrounds you. I'm not talking only about the church.
He comprendido y he aprendido que si sigo detrás de aquel o de aquella,
Have I comprehended or understood that if I continue to go after this person or
voy a
that
llegar bien
person,
lejos.
I'm going to make it very far?
Porque hay gente que no sabe seguir.
Because there's people that don't know how to follow.
Quieren estar primero.
They want to be first.
Y a veces siendo segundo,
And sometimes being second,
se alcanza más.
you reach more.
Créeme lo que te estoy diciendo.
Believe me what I'm saying.
Porque tal vez el que va primero tiene más fuerzas que tú.
Because perhaps the one that's going first has more strength
Y
than
tú
you.
siguiéndolo,
And you following
te
them,
vas a mantener derecho.
you're going to remain
derecha,
straight,
por respeto,
with respect.
porque sabes que su debilidad él te la corrige.
Because you know that your weakness, he corrects it in you.
Entonces tú tomas la decisión en esta mañana.
So you make the decision in this morning.
¿Cómo vas a encontrar paz?
How are you going to find peace?
Este caminar que hace que tú determines
This path that makes you to
te va a traer
determine
luchas.
is going to bring struggles.
Te va a traer luchas, muchas cosas.
It's going to bring struggles and many things.
Te va a traer dificultades.
It's going to bring difficulties.
Te va a enseñar.
It's going to teach you.
Cuando yo, voy a
When
hablar de mí,
I'm going to talk about me.
vine a entender
When did I come to
que mi
understand
alimentación
that the way that I was eating
tiene que ver con mi templo de Dios.
has to do with my temple of God?
Después de 55 años.
After 55 years,
¿Sabe cómo se llama eso?
you know what that's called?
Madurez,
Maturity,
conocimiento.
knowledge.
Tú no tienes que comer lo que yo voy a comer,
You don't have to eat what I'm going to eat
porque yo no voy a comer lo que tú comes.
because I'm not going to eat what you eat.
Yo dije buena alimentación.
I said, feeding yourself correctly.
Me dieron un flan de
Someone gave me
calabaza fue.
a custard, a
Mire,
pumpkin custard.
No, yo no dije que yo me voy a morir de hambre.
And they were like, oh, look. And I said, but no, I
Lo
didn't say
que
that I
yo
was
voy a
going to die of
educar ahora
hunger.
es
What I'm going to
lo
educate
que me
myself
como,
of
cómo me lo como y cuando me lo como.
is how much I'm going to eat, when I'm going to eat it.
No, Acostarse con hambre es lo mismo.
Going to bed, it's the same thing. Going to bed hungry.
Si te acuestas con hambre,
If
hay
you go to bed
proteínas,
hungry,
vitaminas y cosas que el cuerpo no tiene.
There's
Es lo
proteins,
mismo.
vitamins, and things that the body doesn't have, so it's the same thing.
Si me voy a hacer daño con hambre, me lo hago daño comiendo.
If I'm going to damage myself being hungry, I'm going to damage myself eating.
Así que ten cuidado que este año 24,
So be careful. This year, 2024,
queriéndole sacarle el ojo a alguien,
be careful that you wanted to try to take somebody else's eye out.
termine sacándote los dos tuyos.
You might be taking both of your eyes out.
Que a veces queremos hacer daño
It's that sometimes we want to hurt
por
others
celo, por envidia,
because of
por
jealousy,
coraje.
envy, because of anger.
Y somos nosotros los que nos dañamos.
And we are the ones that damage ourselves.
La vida es hermosa.
Life is beautiful.
Y más cuando tenemos a Cristo.
And even more when we have Christ.
En medio de tus errores, en medio de tus faltas,
In the middle of your mistakes, of your
en
faults,
medio de cualquier dificultad,
in the middle of any difficulty,
Dios
God,
quiere bendecir.
He wants to bless you.
Dios quiere
God wants
llenarte de cosas grandes.
to fill you of big things.
Aprovecha el tiempo.
Take advantage of time.
Abraza este año
Embrace this year
los que te han abrazado.
with those that have embraced you.
Corre con los que te están ayudando a
Run
correr.
with those that are helping you to run.
Respeta a los que te están respetando.
Respect those that are respecting you.
Y vas a llegar bien lejos.
And you're going to make it very far.
Deja de estar mirando.
Stop looking.
Imagínese usted con 3 años en el evangelio y me venga a decir a mí ahora
Imagine that you have 3 years in the gospel, but you're going to come and tell me now
cómo buscar a Dios.
how I should seek God.
Yo no estoy diciendo que usted va a aprender mucho,
And
va a
I'm not,
aprender más que
and
yo.
I'm not saying that you're not going to learn a lot. You're going to learn
Pero
more
yo
than
creo
I
que-
do.
yo creo que casi en 30 años yo debo haber aprendido.
But I think that in almost 30 years that I've been in this, I must have learned.
Entonces yo te podría decir,
So I would be able to say to you,
cuando estés 30 años sin apartarte de Dios,
when you are in the gospel 30 years without separating from God,
me enseñas cómo.
then you could come and teach me
¿Te
how
podría
to seek
decir
of
eso,
God.
sí o no?
Would I be able to say that? Yes or no?
Pero sin embargo, no es la actitud.
However, that's not the attitude.
Siempre va a haber alguien al frente tuyo.
There's always going to be somebody that is going to be
Yo
in
tengo
front of
gente
you.
que van enfrente mío
I have people that are going
que
in front of me
conocen más
that know more,
experiencia.
have more experience.
Y yo le hago caso.
And I pay attention to
aprendo
them.
de ellos.
I learn off of them.
Siempre déjate llevar por eso.
Always allow
Póngase en
yourself to
pie.
be guided by that. Please stand.
Ya nos quedan un par de servicios nada más.
We
este
only
año.
have a few services left this year.
El 31 tenemos una sorpresa que vamos a anunciar.
The 31st, we have a
Cosas que
surprise
van a
that we're going to
pasar.
announce. Things that are going to happen.
La diferencia como el ministerio va a correr.
The difference of how the ministry is going to run.
Vamos a lanzarnos a otras cosas mayores.
We're going to launch ourselves to greater things.
Estamos listos.
We're ready.
Y que no se lo pierda.
So
Nos
don't
vamos a
miss it.
gozar.
We're going to rejoice.
Padre, mira todos aquellos que a través de esta cámara
Father, look at all of those that through this camera
escucharon la palabra.
heard your voice, heard the word.
Hablo abiertamente, Dios,
I speak openly,
que
God,
sean bendecidos,
for them to be blessed,
que puedan transformar sus vidas
for them to be able to transform
y
their lives
escuchar la palabra,
and hear the
la
word,
cual he querido bendecirles
which I've wanted to bless them with,
para que lleguen lejos en sus vidas.
so that they can make it far in their
Que el
lives.
año 24
And for the year 2024,
comienzo a declararles de ahora,
I start declaring from right now,
ellos tomen la mejor decisión
they will make the best decision
para alcanzar
so that they can reach
lo que tú tienes.
what you have.
Te esperamos el martes, no te lo pierdas.
We're going to be awaiting for you on Tuesday. Don't miss it.
Disfruta tu familia hoy.
Enjoy your family today.
Disfrútala mañana
Enjoy it
en
tomorrow.
el día de Navidad.
And enjoy it on Christmas.
Levántate temprano.
Get up early in the
Esos
morning.
que tienen niños pequeños,
Those that have little kids,
levántese temprano
wake up early
a verlos gozar,
so that you could see them rejoice and enjoy,
a que te rías con ellos.
so that you could laugh
en
with
el
them
nombre de Jesús.
in the name of Jesus.
Iglesia, incline su rostro.